Hello everyone and welcome to the Division 2 race of round 3 of the 2018.2 South African simGP series. I'm Jason Holden-Jones and I'm joined by the Division 1 race winner on Monday evening, Basheer Jadwat. Welcome, Basheer.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this Division 2 race tonight. I think it's going to be good. We've got a packed lobby tonight. Looking good for a good race.
Absolutely, we're in for another interesting race. And we have got the qualifying session underway, the 15-minute session. We've got just over 11 minutes remaining. And no one's set a flying lap just yet, so everyone's just getting in position and have started their flying laps. We're watching Timothy Homan's on debut this evening, his very first race at Sim South Africa, driving for Haven Racing. And Basheer, we're getting some feedback from your voice. I can hear myself, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if the speakers are too loud.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better, I think. Great stuff. Yeah, so we've got Marais, who's gone to provisional pole with a 58.276. And Johan Labuschagne second. Peter Wenzel now seats him for second with a 2.1247. So Marais, quite a margin for the moment.
That's a big margin for and a good lap for an opening run. Johan though almost 6/10 up on this lap. Nice exit through there.
It's gone board with Johan.
Nice hugging the apex. Lost a little bit of time there, but gaining it again.
Peter Calvinus for Redline Racing. He's up to 58.325, not even a tenth of a second separating the two front runners for the moment.
Looking good for a close battle. That's what we like to see. Johan still 7 tenths up on his Delta. Should put him in P3. Let's see what he does with the last corner.
This is a tricky corner, Basheer, as we saw on Monday.
Very tricky, yeah. It's this left-hander here. There's bump that you don't feel. 1.5 seconds now. What a good lap. 2 minutes 0.3. Wow, good improvement from a 201.7.
So Murray's not going to improve so far. Looks like he's on an outlap actually. Peter Wenzel now with a 1.3 second improvement. He goes to third with a 59.842. So the time's closing up here.
Yep, coming down and closing up.
Carl Besetnage on an outlap. Timothy Herman as well. And Edzard van Baalen.
Big look up there by that.
Let's have a look at Nazim Edwards. He is yet to set a time, I think. Let's stay with him now. RQ back to entry.
He had a massive lock up into the hip, and I'm sure he'll be suffering with a bit of vibration there.
Edwards in
Oh,
traffic.
he's catching the traffic.
No, unfortunately, hasn't timed his run well. Oh, he's caught out. Who is that? Jason van Jaarsveld. So he goes off. And Jason, under no obligation to move aside if he's on a flying lap. And I think Edwards didn't time his run properly. Caught up to van Jaarsveld a bit too soon. And just ran both their laps, unfortunately. So Edwards will leave the pits just to do another one. Rare.
And he's come out right in front of someone starting their lap. So hopefully he moves off the way.
Edwards yet to set a time so far, so he needs to get a move on. Rudy Murray started a flying lap. Let's see how he gets on here through Eau Rouge.
See the DRS opening there. Carl Bezetnage is on a pretty good lap. He's 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths up. 7 tenths up on his Delta. Lost a bit of time there.
He's going to need a good second to improve. Catch Jacobs.
Was on track for it. Let's see how his last chicane works out. Bus stop. He's gaining. He's ran too deep, unfortunately. But he's still gaining. Yeah. So he's got a lot of time in that bus stop where he can gain. Look at that, he's closed in a lot. So he's just got 2 tenths now to find on Jacobs.
Okay, for ZDF, he goes to 5th. So good opening lap by him. Murray is looking to improve now. He's nailed the chicane.
Yeah, good.
Wow, massive improvement.
3 tenths up. Very nice. Into the 57s. Nice lap.
So Murray laying down the gauntlet here for everybody to take notice and try and beat. Calnes gone to 2nd for Red Lion Racing. And on an outlap, it looks like Wenzel's in the pits. Labuschagne is abandoning that lap. Okay, now looking to improve. Looking for a tenth of a second now.
That was a good corner, gained half a second in there.
So looking to challenge Labuschagne for 4th is McKay. See how he gets on now.
This is neck and neck with Labuskaki at the moment. Good evening to everyone on the YouTube chat.
Oh, and
He's abandoned his lap. What's happened there?
has he run out of fuel perhaps? Maybe feeling the car a bit too light? I'm not sure. That is odd.
He's got time to do an out lap and a flying lap if he decides to do it.
Jacobs now looking for a second. This will give him fifth, possibly fourth if he can keep this up.
Jacobs had good pace in practice. Maybe he'll find a bit more time. Look at that in the last corner.
Basheer now up into fifth now.
Look at that gain.
Incredible.
2.5, 2.7, 3 seconds gained. Wow. What a lap.
So,
well done to Louis.
So Jacobs working out something with his driving there. What again? 3 seconds. Perhaps he went off on his previous lap.
Yeah, I think he probably had a spin there in that infamous corner.
Jacobs looking stronger for M2 Racing.
Peter Holden-Jones, did he improve now to 58.3? Look at that, the gap between second and third is nothing. Edwards moved up to P4. Finally getting a lap in, I think.
So Jacobs also improving now by 0.2 of a second. Wow, he's challenging Murray for pole position.
Yep. A little bit wide there, lost a bit of time, but can he get it back? Yes, he can.
Oh, look at that, as you said that, Bash. Now losing, however.
He's lost the advantage that he had there. Let's see if he's got enough fuel for another run. He may make a slight improvement in any case on this lap, but showing that the time is in there to challenge Murray.
Yeah, he just needs to put it together.
Yep.
See how he gets onto the chicane. On board with Louis.
Oh, someone spun at the bus stop chicane.
Edwards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a bright blue car. Oh, he abandoned that one. Probably didn't have enough fuel for another run.
Fortunately, that would be in perfect timing to get the best lap done at the end of the session.
It's a pretty... From his deltas, it looked like he had enough in there to challenge Murray, to get him closer to Murray at least. Murray is out on a lap at the moment, I think. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's out on track, so what could have been? Peter Holden is taking a nice slow approach to his lap, getting the best exit possible. So he's going to attack this lap from that approach.
A thinking man start, very interesting. Straightening out the car, getting the power down.
Yeah.
And Marcus Dane asking in the YouTube live chat, where is Walker? Well, your answer is in 11th position.
P11.
So and Samantha Girona, if I pronounce your surname right, Samantha, go Rudy. So Rudy Murray's got a fan here. Welcome, Samantha.
He's going well at the moment in P1. Good gap to P2, 3.5 tenths.
Oh, Helner's not going to improve, unfortunately.
Oh,
spin, so that's the end of his tenths. Murray is going to improve by 0.8 of a second.
Wow, 57.1. No one's going to challenge that. Great lap for me.
I don't think so. And, who else? I think that's everybody in the pit lane. John McKay improving 1.7 seconds. going to go
Up
fifth.
to P5, great improvement from him.
At the death.
Yeah. I think Ryan Hill's the only one left on track at the moment. It's about even with his lap time, with his PB. Let's see if he can find something right at the end. Hopefully he'll be allowed to complete the lap because we're in overtime already.
Louis Annandale now joins the party in 13.
Oh,
no! And he was up.
He was up. Unlucky.
Okay, but it has gone the way of Rudy Murray, who will start from pole position. And while we wait for the server to run down and start the race session, we're going to take a short break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for round 3, division 2 of the 2018.2 South African simGP series, as we're about to get the formation lap underway. So we've got both cars in the pit lane, and Rudy Murray now leading the field to start this pace lap. Unfortunately, John McKay having ping issues, had to leave the server. Perhaps we'll get him back before the start of the race start. We've got some action in the background there. Contact.
Yeah, looks like contact.
Yeah, so it's not ideal. And
hopefully there's no damage. Looks like it's JP Paul Van Jaar's fault and someone else involved there. It's unlucky.
Yeah, so not the way.
Hopefully they don't have any damage.
Get your race started, but anyway, that's what happens sometimes. And Murray weaving very aggressively side to side, getting some temperature and pressure into those tires. We saw the Division 1 drivers doing that a lot to get the race underway. So hopefully we'll get John McKay for ZDF back on the server.
I see he's in the pit, so at least he's going to give it a try.
Okay,
Hopefully he can run the race. Jason, it's good to see there's a split in strategy here. We have all different types of tires on the track. Softs for the first for Murray. Behind him we have mediums with Jacobs.
Wow.
Then softs again. And McKay's on mediums. Labuskakny on hards, so he's going to run deep and as far as he can in the race. Maybe he wouldn't even change tires in the pits. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, let's see how
Nice
that
to
goes.
different strategies in play.
Yeah, and we'll try and keep track of those for our viewers this evening. John McKay, I think the rain killed my internet. Not going to risk ruining everyone's race with 400 ping. So that's fortunate for McKay and ZDF. But he is on the server, so he's possibly just monitoring his ping.
Yeah, he's away from anyone else, so at least he can run his race there.
Yeah. Okay, Rudy Murray now approaching the speeder point to get this 46 lap race underway. And it looks like we'll probably go over 90 minutes. We saw that on Monday evening. So let's see how we go. But Murray now has got a very determined Louis Jacobs behind him in second. Jacobs wants to try and stick with Rudy now as much as he can. And here we go. So Murray now gets the power underway and comfortably ahead of Jacobs. Got the jump on him.
Got the jump on him there.
Down to turn one we go. To La Source.
Sheldon is right on Jacob's tail.
Plus we're going to see some action up the Camel Straight. So we got someone off there. Who's I think
Someone's
it's
off at the back.
Gaffney.
Oh, keep it.
Well that was very well done there.
That was a scary ride on the AstroTurf. Oh, someone's locked up on Inno Rouge.
Oh,
Who's
Edwards. Is it Edwards?
What's
yes,
up?
it's Edwards.
Yeah, it is.
He just rejoined safely, but a big moment there. And it's gone okay, I think.
I wonder what happened there, because he was in the middle of Eau Rouge and just locked up.
And Wenzel slip past Poseidon. Oh, they both run wide.
Oh.
No, Wenzel runs wide. He's going to let his teammate back past, because he knows not. So plenty of action here on this opening half a lap. And we've got Sparks, who's got Van Jars. Oh, Van Jars is off, and McKay is ghosting around like crazy. So
I think he's called it off. I think he's just had to park the car.
It's unfortunate. And McKay's left the server as well, so it's unfortunate. But anyway, Murray leads the way by 2 seconds ahead of Jacobs. And Walker's got heel for 9th position. Van Baalen and Sparks have dropped right down.
Nice battle there. Klingen's got Labuskakny just ahead of this battle.
Labuskakny under pressure from Walker for Black Widow.
In the slip, is he gonna try and outbreak him?
On board now, Rob Walker.
He's backed off. Very difficult braking in this zone. Oh, who's behind them? They just managed to avoid us.
It's Hill. And Paul also nearly running into the back of Hill.
Yeah. JP Paul is in the Class B Lotus, giving these F2 cars a good run. Oh, who's that?
Two Black Widow cars come
and
together.
JP Paul says thank you very much and
He's
takes
got to run
positions.
at Walker now as well. You're upside of it, probably wisely so.
Yeah, you can't go too wide through there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Basheer, we've got two. Very aggressive there. Wow, what happened? But
McCall's got Poseidon out for P5. I think that was a pass on. Oh, he's locked up Labuskakny. He's got some damage at the front there. I wonder if that's not cause of his lockup.
Okay. Cook now under pressure from Edwards.
Lockups! Looks scary when they lock up there.
It's not what you want to happen. Oh, and Edwards fighting with the Cook now, trying to force him
Caldenes
out.
is right on Jacob's tail. If he can maybe go to that battle.
So this is the battle for second.
Caldenes on soft tires, Jacobs on mediums. So Caldenes should have a pace advantage at this stage of the race. And Jacobs will be able to come back once the soft tires go off. Edwards has dropped right to the back.
He's off, I think. Yeah, he's off. Damage. So is Homan, he's fallen back 2 positions. The timing board doing a dance for us. Let's try and keep up here as Marais gets away at the front. Yeah, it's not too easy. But anyway, Marais is disappearing at the front pretty comfortably. He's got a 5-second lead ahead of Jacobs. Jacobs still under pressure from Caldenes.
Caldenes under a second now behind. I think he'll have DRS on this lap. Yep, there we go. Little box opened. Doesn't seem like his car is set up for straight line speed though. Wasn't able to make any impression on Jacobs. All of these lockups are going to cause massive vibrations on the wheels.
Holden-Jones using a lot of the track there on entry. He's in the curb. We saw you, Basheer, doing that as well. And your teammate Gabriel getting that right.
Yeah,
right
trying to get as smooth a line as we could because the curbs on this track are something to avoid.
Yeah, the curbs are present. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Holden-Jones now half a second up on his deltas. Like Holden-Jones starting to make movements forward.
Yep.
And Jacobs will have to be wary of what's coming up behind him. And Hill and Paul are fighting it out. And of course, Basheer, you mentioned before, we've got 2 classes this evening. And of course, Class A is the Formula 2 cars. And then we've got the Class B with the Lotus Exos for drivers from Division 1. I mean, do you think want to have another crack at it this evening? Paul and Hill fighting out for 8th position. And we're going to change for second as who's Jacobs?
No. Jacobs probably made a mistake there, did he?
Looks like it.
Yeah, he lost about 4 seconds there.
Yeah, through goes Caldenes to 2nd position.
Now can we see Holden-Jones close up on Marais? I think Marais got a big enough gap at the moment where he can just control the pace.
Yeah, just look after those tires and go as long as possible.
Yeah, he needs to go as long as he can. He's on the softs, so probably opting for a 2-stopper. I doubt he'll stretch for a 1-stopper. Let's see if he proves me wrong.
The difference between the Class B and the Class A car is the Class A rockets away down the straights. But the Class B car that Paul is in is pretty good through the twisty bits.
Yeah, look at that, how he closes in on the corners.
Paul driving well, 4/10 up on his best delta so far this track.
Oh,
look at that. He's going to have to be wary of their pace difference through the corners and not make contact with Hill.
Ryan Hill also on medium tires.
Oh, look at up the inside. Wow, that's aggressive. Hill season coming. It's a great fight between these two. Oh, Hill's lost it. Too much curb. He bottoms out and off around he goes. And Paul's going to say thank you very much. He's through to 8th position overall. He makes a mistake himself. now. It's got Klingon for company. Black Widow entry. Chasing down
Labuschagne is chasing both of them.
We know Labuschagne got raw pace as well, so he should be right with these two pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's 5.6 seconds up on his. Oh, Klingon's lost it. Hit the wall. That's going to be massive damage there.
Yeah, he should come straight in, straight away and get that done.
Oh, he's struggling to get the cup back on.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
Let's pan away for the moment. And Rudy Murray is gone. He's checked out.
He's 8.2
he wants to get home early tonight.
Yeah.
And he's away. And he'll be looking to manage the traffic shortly. Homan now into pits. Timothy on debut, of course. And doing a good job so far, but in very early, probably to repair some damage.
Klingon staying out. It looked like he hit the wall quite hard there. I hope he's made the right call. Labuschagne passing hill on. Where is that? Is that the Camel Strait? I think so.
At the end of it, yeah.
Nice and clean move under braking. Use the slip and DRS. Great move.
So Labuschagne up into 9th position. He's got.
He's got front end damage. I wonder if his aero is not joined safely, luckily. Edwards up on Cook, I think. Was that Cook? No, I think Edwards passing someone else there. Oh, runs into the back. What's happened there?
Yeah.
He has to wait for him.
And Sparks in the Class B car once past Labuschagne, wounded Labuschagne. That front wing not looking like it's come from the factory, let's just say that. And Sparks really making life difficult for Labuschagne.
I think Labuschagne is suffering from front end grip because of the hard tires that he's using. I doubt you can get the temperature needed into those tires. So he should actually abandon that.
Sparks through, just like that.
He should abandon that strategy and try a different set of tires. Stays out.
Stay out.
Jacobs got past Holden-Jones again, so Holden-Jones must have made a mistake.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, look at that wing. That's
Looks
gonna
like
be a handful to drive. Yeah. He's gonna have to come in and repair that. It's gonna be a handful through the corners. Klingon's into the pits, I think. He's done a lap, seen that the damage was probably undrivable, and decided to repair.
Edwards now with the double base of Labuschagne gets the job done.
Labuschagne's wing looks like it's disconnected from the body. Front wing, that is.
That is not ideal. And, yeah, Edwards, let's get it together now. He's got raw pace. I saw that in the final practice session. So
yep.
If you can just focus now, you can make some headway towards, I don't know, what, 6th position or so. I reckon. Oh, we're on the outside. Who was that? Steven Sparks are on the outside of, who was that? I think it was Hill. Actually, no, it was not Hill. Beg your pardon. It's actually someone being lapped.
Robert McCall's up to P4, he's past Holden-Jones, but I think he's got quite a few drive-thrus to serve for the use of DRS, from what I can see. He used it on every lap so far.
Oh wow, okay, so there'll be some penalties coming Robert McCall's way.
Oh, who's that at the background there? Someone spun out, I think. Was that Peter Holden-Jones again? Oh, he's decided not to go into the pits. Lost a ton of positions there, from P2 all the way to P7, and it's not going to stop there by the looks of that rear wing. Chad Cook. Who's that? parked on the side there.
Van Baarle, he's got an issue.
And he's also got, look at that nose cone and the wing. Wow.
He's trying to get across to the pits, I think. Yes, he does so. And he comes in to get the damage repaired. Good idea. Ray now leading by 16 seconds ahead of Jacobs. If he just keeps on the black stuff, this will be an easy victory for him.
Yeah.
This is an interesting battle. Carl Basheer is doing pretty well. So keeping it nice and consistent. Not the quickest, but he's keeping it going at a similar pace. And he's got Robert Walker for company. So these two making good headway towards the front. So is Wenzel in third position. So Morris shouting chaos in the YouTube live chat. And, these cars are not easy to drive. You know that, Basheer?
I know that very well. I'm still struggling with this car even after this being the second season.
And it's pretty hardcore. There's no driving aids whatsoever, no ABS, no traction control.
Yeah, no assists. That's where it should be. The full-on hardcore experience. But yeah, they're not the easiest cars to drive, so I feel for these guys and I know what they're going through. They just need to stick it out. This track as well is... Oh, sorry Jason, this track as well, it's quite uneven, therefore the car just wants to spin around no matter what you do setup wise. It's almost as if you have to nurse the car in certain corners.
I think it's also the camber change, especially in the last chicane, also upsets the car.
Yeah, it's most of the chicanes in fact that have a bit of issues. The rear end just tends to go, so you kind of have to nurse the chicanes. The rest of the track is pretty okay, but those are the ones that matter, and that's where the most of the time is actually made up. So yeah, it's just practice makes perfect. Hopefully, still haven't found that.
Yeah, you've got over 600 horsepower under your right foot as well, so you need to be responsible with it. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Holden-Jones has done a pit stop and come out in 11th position.
Let's see how far he can fight his way back now. He's running soft tires now, so he wasn't soft at the start as well, so should have some good pace.
This is the battle for 8th position between Arcor Racing's Ryan Hill and
big lock.
Edwards.
Edwards' tires must be flat. Every time we've panned to him, he's been locking up. The vibration he must be feeling probably quite excessive.
Edwards with a move up the inside. No. Hill season coming.
Hill did well, they left the space but kept the racing line. All done to him.
Let's watch that battle from Steven Sparks' perspective. He's got front row seats to the action. And, the Lotus Exos is a bit easier to drive compared to the Formula 2 cars, and you can see how he catches up to them. But the Formula 2 car now will disappear up the straights. So even behind, and Sparks being a bit liberal with the track limits there.
I think that was understeer, just because of the wake probably from the car in front. He can run the curbs.
Oh, we're going to move here from Edwards up the inside. Oh, he's knocked up, and Hill's going to go past again.
Outbraked himself there.
Trying to pick up the pieces. Well, Sparks are on the outside of Edwards, left him behind.
Is he going to take both? Will he manage to get a run up the inside on the hairpin? The sauce? Nah, the straight line power of the F2 car just gets him ahead.
Oh, got a bit of damage there for Sparks' Lotus. McCall's up into third as well.
Wenzel, past Wenzel there.
But McCall's going to have a whole lot of DRS penalties coming his way, so he might as well drop to the back of the field. Let's just say that.
I think he's realized it on lap 5. I see he's done 5 of them, so from lap 5 I don't see anything. And I see Timothy Homan's got one on lap 4.
Okay. We did see Homan coming to the pits, so perhaps that was to serve that penalty.
To serve the penalty, I don't think McCall's done his penalties yet.
Edwards is back on back past Sparks. Let's watch things from Sparks' perspective now.
Lotus seems a lot better.
Whoa,
Oh, as we say that, Commentator's curse rearing its ugly head. Wenzel is coming back on McCall now, just 4 tenths behind. 3 tenths now.
Look
Look at that, he's got the inside. Got past. Good drive out the last corner, the last chicane. McCall's gonna have a dive up the inside. Is he? No, he backs out. Left space though, so good driving. I think they're catching up to Klingen, the Iron Man.
Klingen is lap down over. Might be receiving blue flags. Hill and Edwards still together. Edwards at the dive up the inside of the chicane. Hill goes around, defends well.
Nice driving from these two, no contact. Sparks is right on Edwards' tail now though. Lock up again by Edwards. I think his brake pressure or brake bias needs a bit of adjustment there.
And of course the drivers can adjust their brake bias on the fly, so but Edwards struggling with his braking. And Edwards has got a run on Hill now, that gap coming down all the time. Is it enough though? I think it might be. Edwards out of the slipstream, very aggressive, almost onto the grass. Wow.
Yep, it's got the inside line. It's got the move done.
Can he keep it? Yes, he can. So cements his 8th position. Let's go. Oh, someone's dropping back. Basheer off.
Oh.
Ball is going to fly past as well. On the outside.
JP pulled up to 6th in the Class B car. He's driving very well. No mistakes from what we can see. And there's a little bit of damage up the front, but I think he's driving quite well. Who's that ahead of him? I think that's...
It is Edzard from Barden. He's 18th and last, a lap down. The Hill and Sparks going at it now. Oh, and Sparks just too aggressive on turning. I think just getting caught out by the speed difference through the corners.
He may have actually clipped the curb there, I'm not sure, because that's the corner that caught me out as well. Just too aggressive on the curb and around it went. Maria now with a 20-second lead over Jacobs in 2nd. I don't think it's all over yet because Jacobs is running a different strategy with medium tires, so maybe he'll be able to stop one less time. And I think a pit stop is around 30 odd seconds if I'm not mistaken. So they should be right together by the end of the race.
We see Sparks in the Class B. Lotus coming to a pit stop. The Lotus has a much smaller fuel tank compared to the Formula 2 car. So expect more stops from the Class B entries. Just 2 entries this evening, Sparks and Paul.
Holman's got past Chad Cook. Fastest lap of the race by Rudy Marais, 2-minute flat. Some nice race pace there.
And of course, the top 3 drivers from this evening go through to the Division 1 race for round 4 of the simGP series. So something to race for this evening. As long as they're within 105% during the hot lap qualifying session for that round. Wenzel nice and consistent in 3rd position. And looking good. He's under pressure from McCall.
Wenzel is driving for which team, Jason?
Wenzel is driving, I'm going to have to check that. So many teams this season, it's difficult to keep track of who's where.
It's him and Basheer, yeah?
Team Basheer, yes. So, Benzel's part of CWN Racing, a new team to Sim Race South Africa this season. Yeah, looking good. Back by Capricorn. They're clinging into the pits now from 16th.
Oh, who's that?
Is that Basheer? No, it's not Basheer. Oh, who is that? Sparks now is falling back to 12th position. With McCall lining up Benzel for a run at him for 3rd position. Robin McCall just racing for a good race. I think he's going to have a lot of penalties coming his way after the race, unfortunately. So Benzel does not need to fight too hard. And so Basheer gets out the way. Is that Basheer? Who is that? This is just Jason van Jaar's fault in the other CWN entry. Pull in from 6th position as well into the pits.
Oh, McCall's got another one, unfortunately, there. So the penalties are starting to pile up now. Oh, big lockup.
Yeah, perhaps Benzel is not going to fight McCall too hard. Perhaps those penalties stuck in, mounting up there in the chat, and Benzel will be able to see that. But yes, McCall makes a mistake with this year.
Yeah, and runs a bit wide. Benzel's up on his PB, so he's responding to the pressure and putting in his personal best laps.
As Sparks has made the move on Cook. Be coming out of La Source, it looked like, but
Cook's gonna have a run. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Look at that past him before the DRS zone.
Threads the needle.
Has to back out of it in the middle of corners there. Just showing the cornering advantage that the Lotus has.
And Cook running wide with a lockup.
Another lockup.
So Moreno with a 26-second lead ahead of Jacobs.
He's almost got a pit stop advantage now. Maria's doing good, consistent, solid laps, all in the 2 minutes.
And with this
Controlling
type of
pace.
pace, he would have done well in the Division 1 race, I think.
Yeah.
Well, actually qualified for Division 1, but couldn't make Monday night's race, unfortunately, and able to make this race in Division 2, however. Oh, Hill's gone off.
Just lost 1 position though, it seems, just to JP, Paul.
Calls in the pits now. Let's see what he does.
Chad Cook also just leaving the pits now.
Gonna do a pit stop. Walker, and we'll slip by into 4th position.
Walker's doing quite well, keeping out of trouble.
Yeah,
up into
we have
P5.
seen a massive improvement from Robert Walker. If you
Yeah.
look back to previous rounds, his pace was generally nowhere. Sorry, Robert, but certainly this evening you improved massively. It's great to see.
Yeah, very nice to see that.
Sandert in 6th position. Position changes. Sparks passes Holman for 11th.
Holman's gonna come back though. Look at the power difference. No chance for the Lotus there. Holman's got a bit of damage if you look at his bonnet. The pop-up is up. Maria's in the pits now, race leader. Let's see if he's able to maintain track position on Jacobs. Jacobs coming through the last corner now, and Maria's leaving his pit, so it's closed up, but I think Maria should maintain his lead. Yeah, comes out quite a bit ahead of Jacobs.
Because Basheer, I would think this type of car sort of gets better the quicker you drive it. If you're not driving it on the limit, it's going to be harder to drive or be slower. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. Besides that, I think it's a lot easier to maintain your attention when you're pushing.
Okay.
I struggle when I back off and take it easy. I tend to make stupid mistakes. But also with this car, obviously the aero is only generated at high speed, so you have to sort of push through corners where you would want to back off, I suppose, just to maintain the grip.
Yeah, that's something I battled with. Did a few FSR Formula Sim racing tests, and I couldn't believe how fast the cars are going through the corners. You're sort of just turning in with blind faith that the car is going to grip.
Yeah, you have to just hope it grips, actually.
Yeah, it's quite something to get used to. Oh, these two are good.
Nice move, man. Who's that?
Scarlett
Beautiful.
Hill.
Nice and Hill.
So Edwards in now from 8th position. These two are going to go past him.
Oh, a bit of a lock up there, and it's wide.
Someone's trying to wide. Who is that? That is Jason van Jaarsveld. Having a difficult race this evening. And very unluckily taken out earlier on. That's what the starts, but still going in 17th position is Jason van Jaarsveld. Holness has got some work to do to come onto terms with Ryan Hill for 9th position. And, don't forget this is the Division 2 race for this round. We had the Division 1 race on Monday evening. And dedicated for all different types of skill sets here in South Africa. But yeah, you're welcome to join the racing, start in a lower division. And yeah, practice your race pace to eventually make Division 1. We've all got to start somewhere.
I think Peter Wenzel made a mistake coming out of the bus stop chicane, lost about 5 seconds on that lap. But he's got a big enough gap now to McCall behind him. I don't know. I don't know if Wenzel has stopped yet. Don't think so.
Don't think so. Kelvin is now almost off-put by a very early braking Ryan Hill. Second base in
Caught
action.
him out there.
So interesting tactics here by Hill. I think it's just the way he's driving, but yeah, Kelvin is just to find a way past him. Walker now in the pits from our 6th position. Oh, Hill's gonna spin again.
Hill's lost it
He
there.
goes. Edwards is past Paul for 6th position. Paul leading Class B quite comfortably ahead of JP Paul, ahead of Steven Sparks.
Sparks some way off JP Paul there. Big improvement from JP Paul as well over the last couple of months. Doing very well. Putting in the effort as well. I see him on the server quite often, so
he's got quite a handy rig from what I see on the forum, and also using VR, Basheer, just like you do. So
yeah,
really helping him out. Yeah, but of course this is all about practice, practice, practice.
the gap between Jacobs and Murray seems to be coming down. Murray now on heavy fuel with the soft tires should get up to speed quite quickly. Jacobs with medium tires but reducing fuel load. He's been going from the start. 6.3 seconds now the gap.
It's very interesting.
Labaskachny started the race on hard tires. I think he's abandoned that and has gone to the mediums.
The traffic here for Jacobs slowing down quite a bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's lost quite a bit of time there.
Van Balen.
It's a bit of a difficult place to catch up. No real space to let anyone by there. Unfortunate. Old man racing.
I think he actually said he was part of M2 Racing, but I think for the GP series he is part of OMR, Old Man Racing.
I see the M2 Racing on the engine cover though.
Yeah. Perhaps a collaboration between the two teams.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
The skins are really awesome to see. Very creative people in the community. Unfortunately, Jacobs lost quite a bit of time there to Murray. He had brought that gap down to just around 6 seconds. He lost a second on that past lap, just catching traffic at the inopportune spot. But look at that, he's able to bring that gap down again. So I think he should be able to go to around lap 23 to 25, I would say. And Murray would also have to stop again, so it's going to be interesting at the end, I think.
Yeah, we saw a similar battle strategy between Gabriel Rousseau and Quay Claessens during round 1 at the Red Bull Ring.
Correct,
Just
yeah.
one stopper versus a 2-stopper, and it was pretty exciting about 3 quarters in before Rousseau got the upper hand and managed to pull away and to take the victory. But good to see an overlap in the strategies can create some exciting racing.
I think Labuskakni would have also been close by if he didn't have his issues. His strategy would probably save him a hell of a lot of time in the pits. I think if he hadn't had the damage and spins, I think he would have been able to make up quite a big gap. Not sure if the tyres would heat up enough sufficiently though. That's something to think about. So Jacob's only made up 3/10 of a second on that lap. He's gonna need to start pushing now if he's gonna get on terms with Rudy Murray, because Rudy will just get quicker once his fuel load burns off.
Oh, he's in traffic is Jacobs again, losing out big time.
He's catching them at the wrong spots, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's difficult for the back marker to judge where to sort of move aside. And yeah, as you said, Basheer, just under braking, getting up pretty quickly. Just had to be patient, but yeah, lost another second to Murray.
I'm sure if these cars had lights, they'd be flashing.
Of course, we saw that blue flag confusion during the Singapore Grand Prix this last Sunday. And, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen catching the back markers, fighting in amongst themselves. And, it can be very difficult to sort of move aside while you're having a race of your own.
Yeah.
That's all part of the blue flag dynamic.
Murray's dropped back into the 2 minutes. Now let's see what Jacobs got caught up. He lost quite a bit of time, 2:02, so almost 2 seconds he lost on that lap. You should expect all the medium runners to stop within the next 2 or 3 laps now.
Even the rain traffic now. He's got Robert Walker behind him. Walker not moving aside.
He's lapped everyone up until P10 now.
Next up traffic-wise for Murray is Ryan Hill. Edwards and Holden is now close together, a battle for 7th position. Let's have a look.
Holden is closing in. Edwards has stopped already, I think. Yeah, he was on softs, he has to have stopped.
Lock up there by Edwards. They're approaching the Class B car of Paul, who's in front of them on the timing board.
Very interesting to see the setup that Peter Caldenes is using. He's not running into 6th gear on the back straight, only run into 6th gear on the Camel straight now. Yeah. Nice run in the slip, DRS.
It's stopped now.
Nice.
Yes, it does. Yeah, nice move.
Oh, he lost the back end. And Nazim Edwards says thank you very much, and he takes a position back. So back to square one for Peter. And this battle will help JP Paul just open that gap up slightly.
The third place driver Bensel in from third position. Plane.
Oh, very risky running the inside curve there.
Cole's gone to third, so that strategy working out. No, Bensel's past McCall again, so it's going to look at what's going on there. Well, these cars are very close together.
Side by side.
And, McCall is through. Oh, Cole ties there for Bensel. He hangs on to it. Got the DRS open now. Can he come back at him? Not close enough.
Not close enough, yeah. So these guys had a good battle before the pit stops. McCall on softs, Bensel on mediums.
Jacobs now into the pits.
Halfway into the race.
Missed
Oh,
his
he
pit
missed his box. Losing some extra time there. Klingen's also in the pits. Very long stop from him. Oh, every time we look at Nazim, we see him lock up. Holden is under half a second, or just over half a second now behind. I must say I'm very impressed by JP Paul's driving. Keeping it clean. Very smooth from the looks of it. And I'm pretty sure it's the car he's only jumped in today, so...
At least he's still going at it there. McCall had a slight mistake, and Bensel's trying to take advantage of that.
Oh, this is going to be very tight through Rouge.
Bensel have to give the dirty air now through Rouge. Oh, that car moving around like crazy. Oh, we're going to be careful.
Back off.
McCall moves to the left. Oh, it's gone terribly wrong. Oh, those cars are destroyed.
So that's, that's a big one.
Cook's going to nip themselves, so that has not gone to plan at all. Those two cars coming to stop on the straight. They're going to be careful now. I think McCall's going to call it a day. Oh, their car's pretty damaged.
Where's he stopped on the straight though?
Stopped on the straight.
In the racing line as well.
Needs to abandon the track. Yes, he does so. So that's it for McCall.
It's unfortunate. He would have had 7 drive-through penalties in any case, I think.
Which
his race was wrong in any
disqualification probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bensel trying to nurse a damaged car home now. If he needs to get back to the pits to get it fixed, we can salvage
JP Paul's will put his way up into P3. And Holden-Jones and Edwards with their battle. Holden-Jones has gotten past Edwards. And those two now are fighting for 3rd place, potentially. Although both of them probably need to stop again. So it's going to be close between Bensel, Holden-Jones and Edwards at the end of the race, I think.
Oh, look at this car. It's absolutely looking pretty
knackered.
used. So let's look at home.
You can see the pop-up is up there. The famous pop-up. Gabriel hates that thing.
Nursing it back home.
Oh, and breaks
That's
himself.
how difficult the car is to drive. It's so slow in there, yet he still overshoots. But Fencer's got the right idea, bringing the car home, getting it fixed and getting back out again, getting to the end. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Give a solid lengthy repair process. Of course, Holden is up into third now. He's run wide.
Run wide.
And
That
Edwards
allows
is
Edwards back through. Oh, he's
Oh.
lost the back end on the AstroTurf. So Edwards finds himself in third place.
Walker now.
Walker.
Look at this left and right darting around.
Oh. Choose a line. Oh yeah, to back off there, that wasn't ideal.
It's like he's gonna do enough now. Let's see what happens. And a break, don't
Oh, he
squeeze
pushes
him.
him.
That's gone terribly wrong.
Ah,
Oh, that's not yeah. That was
that was a
aggressive.
bit rough.
But Basheer did so well there to drift it in and then just drive away.
Yeah.
Not turning it around.
Also did well not to take out Walker in that moment, fully locked up.
Look at McCall, Sparks, Annandale and Cleggan in the pits. Pretty lengthy stops.
We saw McCall park it after that incident. I don't think he's come out since then.
Yelena Abiscachny fighting it over 9th position.
McCall's called it tonight. JP Paul's in the pit now. So I think the Lotuses, although Steven Sparks is having a very long stop, I wonder if he's called it tonight as well.
Benzel has rejoined from 6th position after the incident.
Oh, big action, yeah. Rudy Murray had to thread the needle. There were 2 cars off and he managed to get the gap in between. Rudy's got a 45-second lead now. So he's gone, he's checked out. Barring any mistakes, I don't think anyone's going to catch him tonight.
Abiscachny's found his way past Heel now. Heel trying to come back at him now.
Heel's going to have the DRS. I think he's a bit too far behind. He's losing time in the slip, so his car's got a lot more downforce than the Abiscachny. Oh, someone's gone around.
Who's that? It's a
Holden-Jones.
Jacobs.
Oh, it's Jacobs.
Someone else as well, too. Hill as
Right
well.
now.
Hill battling with that chicane.
So I think Jacob's challenge to Murray is probably done.
Yeah. He caps it by almost a minute, so it's unfortunate for us.
He's pretty safe in second. He's got a minute and 17 seconds on Edwards behind him. So both of them gonna have very lonely races to the end now. A lot of steering lock, a lot of understeer in Ryan's car. Marez made a mistake as well on that lap. Had a spin on the bus stop chicane. Lost 7 seconds. Lock up from Edwards again. So Rudy Marez about to lap Edwards in third place, so he's gonna lap everyone except Jacobs. Fantastic drive by him.
Yeah. Now Paul is under pressure from Geldernes. Geldernes should get the job done easily, you know.
Yes, already side by side before the DRS zone. I think he's passed already. Yep. Oh, he's run wide.
He's going to slip by again, so Geldernes has got all to do again. So,
just a little too deep on the brakes, I think. Overspeeded DRS.
There's a lot of action in this Division 2 race. The Formula 2 cars demand a very smooth driver. Edwards in the pits from third.
Walker moves up to P3. Walker's also on softs, so I'm sure he needs to do another stop. Oh, this is gonna be tight.
That worked out better than I thought it was going to be, I must admit.
Yeah, I expected a bit of contact there.
So yeah, Robert Walker up into third. And being pretty consistent in this race, I must say.
Look, man, no hands on the side of the car. Here, kitty.
Race director's not me. So, it's a very interesting GT4 livery as well, with free candy on it. So take from that for what you may. So there we go. Black Widow very liberal with their paint scheme.
Helnes and JP Paul are still at it. I think this one's going on for almost 5-6 laps now. How JP Paul's gonna let Helnes through.
Unfortunately for us, yes.
Ryan Hills had an off. The battle for P4 seems like it's closing up a bit.
Finally, some action. So, yeah, that's gaps only 1.7 seconds.
Wenzel's on medium tires and Edwards on softs. So it should close up quite nicely.
So Edwards has really come up the order. He was down in 12th at one stage.
I think every time we've panned to him, he's been locking up. 1.2 seconds now. Don't lock up. Just kept it in. Lost a lot of time in that corner though. Gap's back up to over 2 seconds now.
So Edwards starting to close the gap to Wenzel again. 1.5 seconds. And, 33 or 46, so still a bit of time if Edwards to do something about Wenzel. And Walker looking pretty good there in third position.
I think Walker may need another stop before the end.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Okay, that's still quicker than Edwards at last lap. Interesting tussle between these two.
Yeah, it seems like Wenzel's quicker in Sector 1 and Sector 3, and Edwards is able to close up just in Sector 2.
Perhaps Edwards is running a bit more aerodynamic through the slower corners or quicker corners. So these two about to come up to lap Timothy Homan. So debut tonight. Oh, a mistake there by Homan. Oh, he's leading by Wenzel and Edwards. Very generous. There we
Yeah, it's being very generous there.
And Edwards taking advantage of this. Close the gap to 1.1 seconds as well. So perhaps Wenzel off put there by Homan.
But he's able to open it up right away. So he's got Sector 3 hooked up. Murray is just gone. A minute and 5 seconds ahead of Jacobs now. Oh, massive lock up there by Edwards. Holden-Jones is right behind Basheer out for P6 now. 6/10 of a second. JP pulls past Ryan Hill. Holden is a lot smoother in Sector 2, able to hold the corners right in the tail now of Poseidon out. Much better line through that corner as well. But now does he have the speed to stick with Poseidon out on this back stretch? Murray and Walker in the pits. Edwards got past Wenzel. Not sure what happened. I think Wenzel spun out the last corner.
Oh, on the outside goes Holden-Jones. What a move.
Nice.
And Basheer very careful into that chicane. These two are going to pass Walker as well. Oh, there, where's Walker? No, Walker's rejoining.
Oh, he's taking the dive up the inside. Poseidon's taking the place back. Nice dive up the inside.
These two are now only 3.4 seconds behind Walker. So the battle for 5th position is heating up nicely.
And Walker himself is just 3.5 or 4 seconds behind Wenzel. So he could end up with a good battle for 4th place. Unfortunately, that spin of Wenzel's lost him 12 seconds to Edwards.
Oi, what's happened there? Send it around.
Maybe too aggressive on the throttle. Robert McCall saying that his engine was dead. That's what caused him to stop on the straight.
Okay. Not much you can do with the dead engine.
Yeah. Look at the gap between Wenzel and Walker.
Wenzel's run wide again. Walker trying to force the issue. No, not close enough.
Oh, is he going to dive up?
So, ooh, interesting fight this. Look back from Wenzel at Walker. Oh, and Walker's going to fly by. Look at that.
Look at that around the outside.
It's almost like Wenzel just tapped off to let him by. Perhaps something happened beforehand.
So.
Just letting him by to sort that issue out.
And that's gonna light the eyes up of Peter Holden-Jones. He's closing in all the time. Oh, who's that?
That is
Van Balen, I think.
Balen. Watching Holden-Jones now. Wenzel's now right with Walker. He's gonna be in the slipstream now.
Yep, he's gonna have a good slipstream run there. Maybe try and outbrake him on the last corner.
What's he gonna do with it now?
Walker defends, but he's going to go around the outside, is he? He'll have the inside line for the next one. Oh, but Walker covers him off. He'll have the DRS though for the first corner. He just needs to bide his time and make the pass with DRS now. Got a poor exit there though. Hopefully it'll be close enough. Walker's got some good speed. He opened that gap up to 7/10.
Oh, left him behind, didn't he? Sure.
Yeah.
Good exit out of that first corner. Getting the power down nicely.
While these two battle, Peter Holden-Jones is closing in all the time. 2.4 seconds now. 2.2.
Traffic here for Walker. It is Annandale in 16th position. Timothy Home in front of him as well. So what's Walker going to do now? He needs to get past. There'll be blue flags being waved at the two cars in front of him.
Are they having a battle though, maybe?
No, they are a couple of laps apart as well.
Okay. Still behind them. Oh, wasn't sure what to do there.
Wenzel now coming up to his teammate now. He should have let him by. Will he? Yes, he does.
Nicely done.
Holden-Jones needs to get past too. Walker's got Holman to lap as well.
Big lockup. Holman lets them by. No, he doesn't. He just lets Walker by. Wenzel got a bit held up there. That should allow Holden-Jones to close in. Holden-Jones just 1.4 seconds now. Rudy Moret's got a 44-second lead now. I think he's done his second pit stop. Walker's made a mistake there. Dropped 2 positions behind Holden-Jones now. Wonder what happened there.
Holden-Jones is right with Wenzel too. These three locked together for 4th position. Holden-Jones with a run on Wenzel, approaching the final chicane. Oh, running wide up the inside, that's brave.
Around the outside, on the grass, oh!
Drifting into the chicane, he hangs onto it somehow.
Oh, well done. I don't know how he held on to that. Oh, it looked like Wenzel went off there. Wenzel got caught out. I think he was taking avoiding action, but Holden-Jones, Drift King.
I thought we were watching Formula Drift for a second. Holden-Jones now have some seriously warmed up tyres as well. Oh, so there's I said that really goes. So it's that battle.
Yeah, that type of lockup, the tyres will be cooked. So Walker takes back his P4 and got a good gap now to Wenzel, 2.6 seconds.
And somehow Edwards finds himself in 3rd position after being right down the field. Let's see if he can get to the end. Or is he still fighting Walker for 3rd?
I think he's done his 2nd stop as well. So probably both of them are good to go to the end. Wenzel on medium, so he is definitely good to go to the end. Oh, big luck up there by Robert.
Look at our race lead. Rudy Moret has been absolutely faultless this evening.
Yep, still a drive from him.
52nd lead ahead of Jacobs.
Car looking new. No damage.
That's exactly what you want. And hopefully we see him racing in Division 1 round 4. We'll have to see how he gets on in the Division 1 race. And so we've got Holman in the pits from 11th. 6 laps before the end. But Moret looking very, very comfortable.
Can we go on board maybe, Jason, just to see the driving style that he's...
As you say that, he makes a mistake.
As usual, the commentator's cost. Smooth inputs.
And this is the type of car that will highlight driver faults to the nth degree. It demands a smooth driving style. You can't wrestle it. Straightens out the car before the second apex as well.
Very nice. He's got it hooked up quite nicely. Oh, who's that?
Shifting as well.
I think that was Klingen facing the wrong way. Wenzel's coming back at Walker. He took a second and a half out of Walker on that pass lap. Gap now 1.5 seconds, so that one's closing up again. Marius Meyer says we shouldn't say anything on commentary when viewing him. He doesn't need us hexing him.
We don't know what you're talking about, Morris.
Innocent. So it seems like Walker's managed to respond this lap. He's opened that gap up by half a second. Klingen's having a bit of a nightmare. I think his tires are gone. Yeah, into the wall again. I think he's on medium tires, so he should be good to go to the end. Just needs to let them cool down a bit. Murray 3/10 up on his PB. Is he going for the quickest lap now?
Fuel lights come right down. He's obviously at one with the car. Just enjoying himself now. 4 laps to the end.
Sometimes you need these little things like to push for a quickest lap and things like that just to keep your attention up. It's a long race, so any little target you can look to would help.
Jacobs in second, again 50 seconds behind now, and also very comfortable in second too.
Yeah, he's safe in second, 1 minute and 20 to Edwards behind him. So the top 3 are pretty safe in their positions. Walker and Wenzel are the ones fighting for the 4th position. Wenzel's closed right back up again, under 1.5 seconds, 1.3 seconds now. Was that Klingen parked the car there? I think he's just going to spectate now.
Lock up there by Walker. Pushing out, feeling the pressure now from Wenzel.
Yeah, he should be feeling. Maybe look at the rear view there, Jason. The back wing that you've got.
We are looking back from Walker at Wenzel. Oh, another lock up there. Very conservative under braking and
nice line from Wenzel. Wenzel keeping it nice and clean, maximizing his exit. Took 4/10 out of Walker there. Lock up again by Walker. But look at that drive that he has out of the Lassos hairpin. Opens that gap right up. .7 seconds and 1.8 seconds. He's got that car hooked up for acceleration. JP Paul is still leading the Class B battle in 9th place. Sparks is quite some way behind. I think Sparks had an issue because he was in the pits for a hell of a long time.
Mistake there by Walker.
He seems to be struggling under braking.
This is where Wenzel closed the gap again.
Oh, big lockup. Second now again.
With DRS range now. Yeah, so you're quite right there, Basheer. Walker's really struggling to get the car stopped.
But look at the power that is. Wenzel's got a better exit this time, but let's see if he's able to close now with DRS. Just 7/10. He just needs to be close enough for the last sector. It seems like he's got the car much better hooked up in the last few corners. 7/10. This is as close as he's been.
As he went onto the Astro, I don't think that was a good idea. So it's cost us a good battle, unfortunately. Lap and a half remaining.
Rudy Marais popped in the quickest lap of the race, 1:59.3.
Just reminding us of his dominance. Quickest lap of the race, lap 45 and 46.
Almost a minute ahead of P2. Unfortunately, that half spin cost us a good battle there, Jason. It was developing nicely.
It was going to go down to the line, but let's see what happens now. Maybe Walker makes a mistake or something. Could happen. As I said, I think Wenzel ran wide, in fact. 3 seconds now.
Oh, who's that behind?
Background doing the dance.
Oh, that's Sparks. Waiting to join safely. Well done. Basheer notes lost a place to Labuskachny. P7. Lighting up the tires there. Rudy Marais started the final lap of the race. He's dominated this one from the pace lap. I think he's led every single lap, except for obviously in the pit sequences.
I think even then he wasn't passed. Not sure. Not sure. But,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Jacobs was behind even after the first pit stops. So I think he's led every single lap. And he's up on his delta. So he's having a great evening tonight, pushing for another quickest lap.
Look at that, almost 2/10 faster.
Oh, he's run wide. I think he'll just bring it home now.
Oh, that's really gone terribly wrong. And Marais having to take avoiding action. And Barlin just getting in the way on the racing line and braking on it at the line as well. But just the chicane now for Rudy Marais to take what can only be described as a dominant victory here. No challenge whatsoever from the rest of the field.
Yeah, great drive from Rudy. Well done to him.
Congratulations to Rudy Marais. And we've got we're going to go back 57 seconds to Lee Jacobs. Old man racing, Omar. And the old man showing the youngsters how it's done, looks like. Second position.
He was in with the shot for quite some time, being an alternate strategy. I think just one or two mistakes cost him quite a bit of time there.
Yeah.
And I think he had that hit with the wall, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and some repair time as well, which cost him.
I think that probably cost him a good chance to fight.
A big chunk of it.
Although,
7 seconds.
yeah. Although I think Rudy Marais did have a bit of pace on him, so it would have been quite interesting to see what could have been. But yeah, unfortunately.
Fencer's got Walker for fourth. What's happened?
Wow, what's happened there?
Walker's gone off. So change it.
Right at the death.
There we go. So Walker will get fifth. Holden-Jones will get sixth. Of course, Edwards has completed the podium in third position. So Marais, Jacobs, and Edwards go through Division 1, round 4. And Holden-Jones will get sixth position. And Labuskachny is will get seventh. And Homan is lap down 11th position. Senate will get 8th position. He's fighting Paul for 9th. Of course, Paul will win the Class B race ahead of Sparks.
Good drive from JP Paul. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna. Oh! I think he's gonna wait for him. Is he gonna give him the position?
Yes.
Well done.
So Ryan Hill completed top 10.
We have some Drift Kings there.
And that completes the third round of the 2018.2 South African simGP series. From me, Jason Holden-Jones, thank you very much, and thank you very much to Basheer for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that.
It was a pleasure, and yeah, we're going to take a break from the racing next week, but we'll be back the following Monday evening for round 1 of the South African simGT series, and a very exciting championship happening there. And no doubt we'll see you, Basheer Jadwat, in action in that race as well. So yeah, well, until then, all the best, and goodbye for now.
Cheers for now.